This is my favorite part. Because I like how much he stresses out about the intro. Right. Do it your own way.
Yes, right. I'm not even worried about
this. This is an edit. This is a reel in itself of make a compilation of getting ready to make an introduction.
Every intro that Mike's ever done. This is the build up.
Yeah. Ready? You ready, Andrew? All right.
Look, he moved already.
Did I? Stop. No, I didn't.
You're good.
Starting to get lower.
No, mine moved down.
I did move down. It was me.
Oh,
shut up.
I'm trying to like this. This is like my
comfortable position.
Yeah, I'm trying to make this be like where I don't move too much. All right. What's up, everybody?
Walking Blind is hosted by overly emotional dudes who overthink and overanalyze everything. Nothing the hosts say should be taken as medical advice or opinion. They're not professionals. They're about to make that very clear.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Walking Blind podcast, the podcast where we like to normalize checking in on your homies. This is episode 118. And really quick, if you like what we do here, please follow, like, and subscribe. That being said, I'm Mike. That is also Mike. And today we have a very, very fun guest. We've already been talking for like an hour or so. But we have our boy Steven from 197. Do you say media?
Yeah, 197 Media.
197 Media.
Stoked to be here, man.
Nailed it.
Stoked to be here. Been watching this for a minute, and it's cool to see it all in person, you know?
Dude. Yeah. Studio much smaller than it looks on camera.
It's the perfect size, man.
We were kind of talking when you walked up, and I think last time I saw you was at Chain when NBR played, but since then, like, I just see all the videos you're putting out, and I'm like, fuck, like you're at so many sick shows, like so much sick content. Trying,
man, like on a regular basis, still like putting out at least one video a day onto the channel to keep that going, but like going to as many shows as I like can to keep everything kind of flowing. Mm-hmm. The hardest, not hardest, but like the most taxing part of it is like living in like Elsinore and driving to San Fernando for midnight hour. Yeah. That's like where I'm filming most regularly now. And that's like a 2.5, 3 hour drive to get there with all the traffic and everything. Like, it's a labor of love. You know what I mean?
Dude, and I feel like we talked about this too when at that show, like, but it's like, would you move closer? I mean, I don't think that, like, one, everything's expensive as shit.
Yeah.
Two, it's like, you know, you're comfortable. You got your own space, your own spot. Like, you just got to make the commute.
Where are you going to go that you can afford, like you can in the Inland Empire that's in LA? Like, would love to, but there's so many, like, other drawbacks.
Yeah.
It's California problems. You know what I mean? It's too expensive to live in this state.
Yeah. Dude, tell me about it, man. It's fucking insane. I gotta pay my property taxes, my second quarter of property taxes, and I'm like, oh shit. Here we go.
Dude, I was looking through Facebook this morning, and I saw a house for rent for $3,000 a month right by my house. I'm just like, how can anybody even afford that? Like, what in the world?
I have like some friends of mine who are looking for a new apartment right now. They're like, yeah, we just looked at this cool like 2-bedroom, 1-bath. It's only $2,100, and I was like, $2,100? That like hurts my feelings.
That's more than my mortgage.
Yeah, that's insane. But it's the world we live in now, I guess. Like, rent is insane, and everything else is even more insane. It's wild.
Everything just gets more and more expensive every day out here. Mm-hmm. Gas is back almost up to $5 a gallon again.
Dude, I went to McDonald's, which my girlfriend won't be mad at me for, but I went to McDonald's and I got like a coffee and a sausage McMuffin. It was like $9.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I used to get this for $4.
Yeah.
What happened?
My my McDonald's order for breakfast, and then my just regular Taco Bell order. Mm-hmm. My Taco Bell order is over $20.
That's unreal.
Just for you?
Just me,
I'm proud.
dude. And I don't even get that much. It's just I get the high quality items there.
Let's see, two cheesy gordita crunches with beans instead of meat.
Correct.
I don't know what else you get.
Mexican pizza, beans instead of meat.
Ooh.
Okay.
2 extra sides of the spicy ranch sauce,
Yeah.
and then medium drink.
I feel like the Mexican pizza is a new thing though, right? Because it just came back.
I guess, yeah. I was doing the quesadilla, chicken quesadilla.
Dude, their quesadilla is well done. That's where it's at.
Dude, there's something about Taco Bell. There's something about that beautiful Taco Bell that just hits you just right.
Dude, it pissed me off. One of the times that my wife and I recently went there, they made like an empanada thing and they called it a crispanada. They Taco Bell gentrified it up, right? It's $4, and I swear it's like barely that big.
my
I'm like, are you kidding?
Just
It was good, but like you can finish it in 2 bites if you really wanted to.
Where do you stand on the fight between Del Taco and Taco Bell?
It's 2 different menu types, man. If I'm going to Del Taco, I'm going to Del Taco for like a specific reason. Like I want a bold bean and cheese burrito,
Fair.
probably a side of French fries. I can't get that at Del Taco. Their beans aren't really real, isn't it? Like some powder form of beans there or whatever, you know. Taco Bell's good, but I don't know. It's just 2 different things, you know.
That's the most logical answer we've gotten on this.
It's the most diplomatic.
So we have our boy Beardley on cameras today, off camera because Jesse wasn't feeling too well, but share the back line. We've had this ongoing fight for over a year now.
Yeah, going over
about
here.
Del Taco versus Taco Bell.
Okay.
and they're Del Taco heavy on that side. We're T-Bell heavy on our side, so
I feel like a lot of the time, I find like, obviously not in this case here, but like the younger generation rides for Taco Bell so hard. They've advertised,
marketing, dude.
Yeah, it's all the marketing towards that generation. And it's like the tried and true. No, Del Taco will always be there.
I feel like the tried and true from California.
Yeah.
All ride hard for Del.
It's
But
the way to go.
Liv Moss with Taco Bell, first of all, for all the youths, for my fellow youths out there. And then, like, if you've ever been outside of California and traveled outside of California, like, yeah, Taco Bell all the way.
Yeah.
I mean, if I wanted to throw shade, tell me a staple item such as the Mexican pizza. Tell me a staple item at Del Taco that they've taken away for fun.
That's fair.
Taco Bell's breaking hearts on a regular basis. They're like, no, this isn't going well. It's like, in what world? This was great.
This is the perfect episode for you.
I know.
I'm on this guy's side.
Want to come to share the back one?
Dude, there's the one one of the OGs that still has the original menu in. Is it Bakersfield?
Yeah, it is Bakersfield.
Oh yeah.
That still has like all the OG
Bigger
like,
portions. I feel like.
Yeah, and from what I understand, that place is awesome.
Yeah.
It is really good. I've never been there.
It's always really busy, but
Yeah,
that's like the best Del Taco you can get.
I went once. It wasn't my idea. I was outvoted by my family.
You hate crinkle cut fries or what?
No, I don't know.
I will give Del Taco this. Only spot that you go to where like you go for a burrito and then you might go, actually, I'll have a double Del.
The double Del, dude.
And the double Del's good.
Their burgers are like the most underrated silent.
Yeah.
They're so good.
So good.
Anyways, let's move on before
I know.
before the backline boys over here start to.
I'm a big guy, man. I can go over fast food with you. Don't worry, I got you.
Michael had posted a really beautiful thing on Instagram. It was so good that I think it was one of the first times that I've ever reposted somebody's story. And it was do you remember what it said?
Something about people who get diarrhea from Taco Bell have a weak bloodline, and I don't know. There's something
It's
else.
like
to it.
it's like they're
And your bloodline will be forgotten.
you'll be forgotten by history. Something like that. It was like
You guys need that AG1 sponsorship because that would be the exact time to say,
Yeah.
but your stomach won't
But
hurt
by the
with
way-
AG1.
What keeps us going when we eat Taco Bell? Athletic Greens.
Have you had it?
No.
I'm on 2.5 months using it.
Do you feel a difference?
Oh my gosh, my stomach, like, it hurts a lot in general. This is a plug here. You need your endorsement
Yeah,
now.
we need our money.
My stomach's always been sensitive growing up, like
Yeah.
not nearly as much anymore.
Really?
Yeah, it's got like probiotic, prebiotic. I don't know, a bunch of stuff in it. I don't know.
I've used like the different brands, like not specifically AG1, but I've used like green powders
Yeah.
in the past. And like I've noticed if I'm consistent, like it helps. Like it helps with just overall like digestion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a huge vegetable guy. You can't tell by this godlike physique, but not huge on the green side of things. But yeah, like so I mean, from what I hear from the people that have taken it, like, and obviously we're not getting paid for this, but like that they feel a lot better if they're consistent.
Yeah.
But
I would say like that's almost a staple in my regular morning routine. Like I feel like it helps kind of give me that little boost of energy almost as much as a cup of coffee in the morning.
sick.
So
We should make some life changes.
it's expensive, but it's worth it.
Dude, I just did the gym, so I gotta.
Jordan's got you
a lot.
working at the gym all the
Yeah,
time
dude.
now.
You did just get the gym.
Once a day, every day.
Monday through Friday.
But see, so are you still on the program though, where you show up, do bicep curls, and then sit in the sauna for a half hour, or are you just like
Yes.
starting to work out?
No. I just had my. I'm now getting to the point where I'm starting to like put a little more on.
Did we mention
Do a couple more reps.
Did we mention in the last episode how Adrian put you to shame?
Oh my god.
Adrian Harsh Reality. Oh,
Yeah.
don't even get started on that one. That's not even fair.
Dude,
He ran into Adrian at the gym.
and he was so.
That would be my worst nightmare scenario right there. I love Adrian, but like he would probably put me to shame and do the same thing.
But what made it worse was I don't even think he was trying to. I think he was just like, because I was doing, it was leg day. I didn't want to go hard. Something was going on. I was like, I don't want to go too hard on my legs. I want to be sore all weekend. And so I'm like, I'm doing legs. And he comes over. He's like, hey, what's up, man?
What were you doing? Like
I was doing the leg press.
leg press?
Yeah. He's
That's the one
like,
that you can load with a ton of weight.
yeah. But I was like, and I've also doing this thing where like I start really low on purpose just to get form and make sure like I'm warming up whatever it is, and then I go.
Yeah.
But like I wasn't gonna put much on. And he came over. He's like, hey, what's up, man? Are you gonna put more on? I was like,
I can picture him saying that too, facial expression and all.
oh, dude,
Just so calm.
he's so calm. And he was genuinely asking, "You gonna put more on?" I was like,
How much did you have on there?
I think it's like 245s or something. It was
Like 145 on each side or 245s on each side?
I think it was just. I might have just been one on each side.
You could definitely probably throw like 4 more plates on there and be comfortable with the leg press.
Yeah, no. Well, I usually do like I think there's 245 plates on each. Is usually what I'll do. But for that one, I was just like, I just want to get my legs kind of warmed up, and he's like, I was like, oh man, I don't get embarrassed with stuff like that, especially for like myself. I'm like, I'm new to the gym, like whatever.
Which is like, it's odd to me that you've gone this long in your life and you never really lifted weights, right? Like it was always just like baseball or,
Pull-ups,
like weird calisthenic stuff.
yeah, running. I used to run.
Yeah.
Are you a pre-workout guy?
No, I haven't done it yet.
That'll push you.
What?
Oh my! Oh, I've got one right now. It's like almost 400 milligrams of caffeine. It makes you itchy if you're standing around for too long. Like in a way, it almost makes you want to lift heavier because it counteracts the itchiness of just like the harder you go, the easier this is gonna be for you.
Fuck,
I love that itch. Like I remember my first time taking pre-workout, I was like, what is this shit? And then I felt my face tingling and I was like, oh, let's go.
Yup. Mine's been hitting. I live maybe 3 miles from the gym from my house. Mine's been hitting before I'm even making it to the gym. I'll chug it right before I leave. And I'm still on the freeway and it's like, oh my God, I can feel this. I need to hurry up. Like, this sucks.
Is it like a? Did they make you have the shit too? I don't need any more of that in my life.
I think it depends on what pre-workout you take.
Okay.
Also, it depends on how you mix it. Because I tend to mix mine with less water, or I just dry scoop it and do
I haven't done a dry scoop, but like bare minimum amount of water. Like I don't want this to I
Yeah.
just want this as pure as it can be.
Just sludge.
Dry scoop is the next step.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I just got to a point where like because the gym is legit, like kind of like you, like 3 miles away from here.
Yeah.
Right? So I would get up early. Like my old routine, I would get up at 4, like get up, get ready, like take my morning dump, and then I like grab my pre-workout, dry scoop it, grab a water bottle, and by the time I got to the gym, I was hyped. 4:30, I'm fucking hyped at 4:30.
I'm afraid, dude.
Dude, you should try it.
A little bit of pre-workout, a solid Hatebreed record of choice. You're golden.
Maybe for you, like pre-workout and like John Farnham, like the Rad soundtrack.
Dude, I will.
80s bangers, you know.
The world will not be ready for what that'll do to my body.
It would be insane.
I'll get.
You look like you're violently working out, and it's just like Tears for Fears going on.
It's not that far, man.
Everybody wants to rule the world.
Dude, if that's what it takes to like get you to the next level at the gym, you should try it.
Okay.
Something along the lines of, you guys remember that the movie Harold and Kumar?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When the extreme jocks, they're nuts out of their mind the entire time, and then they steal their car when they're at the liquor store or whatever, and they turn on the radio, and it's just the softest music in the world. It's like, what is going on?
Dude.
Extreme.
See, my for me, the gym, I'm listening to like podcasts, or I'm catching up on like movie news or sports news or something.
Yeah.
So I rarely do music.
Treadmill podcast is like what gets me through.
Yeah.
When it's music that I've listened to, I mean, with Jim, just in general, creature of habit, you know what I mean? It kind of feels more daunting when you're like, it's the same old, you've listened to this a million times. At least podcasts that are coming out on a weekly basis, it's something new, so your focus is entirely on that, and it's just get through this real quick, and it's, oh, what do you know, 30 minutes has already gone by, 45 minutes, however long, you know?
Yep.
When you're on the treadmill, are you running or are you just...
No, I've been walking on,
Are
but
we
like I'll do
taking
like
strolls
incline.
or-
I'm like strolling.
Yeah.
Strolling with like incline.
I go like 10 incline and then I just kind of hike for like a half hour. 'Cause I hate running on the treadmill because my giant body just slams onto the fucking thing the whole time.
When you can hear it through the headphones, it's like, yo, I need to chill. This is bad.
I need to relax. And then also, like, you know, since I've gained weight, I can feel my man chest kind of almost trying to hit me in the face while I'm running, and I'm like, okay, I gotta chill a little bit.
It's hard because like in my mind, I still like I used to be able to jog. Like I could jog 2 miles before and I wouldn't walk. I would just
Jogging.
I'd jog, and then I haven't done that in years. And so like now, I'll have those moments where I'm like, I feel good, and then I'll start going, and I'll get like a minute in, I'm like, and I like have to like stop, and I feel like I'm like, who saw me just quit on myself?
Who saw me just give up on myself?
Yeah. So I kind of was just like, you know what, I'm gonna just do a good little incline, and I'm just gonna walk, warm up, and then go do weights.
I feel like I really fucked up because I had a full gym in my garage.
Yeah.
Squat rack, like bar, like a bunch of like change plates, everything. And for a time, like my habits were so good because it was right there. And then you know, like we kind of sold everything off to make room for like other things in the garage. Like, cool, we can work on bikes in here again. We have room for storage, all this stuff. And I was like, but I just got a 24-hour fitness membership, and I paid for 3 years out the gates because I got like this insane deal.
Yeah.
So I think I spent like, I want to say I spent like, or not 3 years, 2 years, like $200 for 2 years.
That's cheap.
Yeah, because I got like a crazy deal, maybe $250. I don't know.
My LA, sorry to cut you off there. My LA fitness membership is $50 a month.
Yeah. It was like it was legit like it was a holiday sale, and it was like this drive to get people back into the gym after COVID.
Yeah.
So they had this insane deal where I was like, I have to get that. Like, I have to do this. So I bought it, and then I just really kind of shit the bed with like being committed to going. I have the membership, and I also have a free membership to the gym at Loma Linda because I work there, so I have options, and I don't go, but you know, so like, but when it was in my garage, like I would make it a point, like I had no excuse, right? Like whether it was I get up early in the morning or I didn't work out this morning, so when I get home from work, I'm gonna work out real quick, and then like kind of selling everything off and getting rid of everything. Now I'm like, we didn't need storage space in here. I should have just kept all that shit. That way I had like no reason to not go.
Yeah.
But you know,
Whatever it takes to get it done.
Yeah.
I gotta do it.
I was on a roll there for a minute, and then I couldn't even like replicate this if I tried, but like somehow I screwed up my sciatic nerve in my back. And that kind of derailed me really hard because for about a good, I think it subsided after like a month. Like the bulk of the pain kind of stopped, but for a while there, even just holding like my little 20-pound chihuahua, I could feel like a lot of pain in my back. It's like, yeah, I don't even want to like make this worse. So, like it's just chilling for a little bit as much as possible and getting back on it slowly but surely here. But I was on a good roll. I was going like every day, like Monday through Friday, like you at least, and like it was great. And I need to get back on it.
It's like I was kind of telling him when he started, like it takes 30 days to create a habit. Right? So like just being consistent for 30 days, it's just gonna become like normal. But you know, there's always something that happens in that 30 days where I'm like, oh shit, you know, you can't.
I'm surprised that I've been able to stick with it as consistent as I've done. Just because I used to, like, for a lot of it too, it was like almost like shyness. Like I didn't want to be, like, I don't want to do anything in front of people. And then I feel like going enough with like Jordan, like she's like, who gives a fuck? she's like, I don't care what you can live. He's like, and then we have another buddy, who he's like a big dude and he can lift a lot, but he's had injuries.
Yeah.
And so he's like telling me too, he's like, dude, he's like, I can lift and I can do so much more. He's like, but I can't right now. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care what other people think.
Yeah.
I was like,
I mean, like the Adrian scenario, that's just because like it's a friend type thing, and you know he wouldn't like give you grief in like reality, but like even at that, like when I started going back to the gym, I wasn't lifting crazy heavy or anything like that, and it was just I thought about it for a second. I'm like, I don't care. Like moral of the story is like I'm in here anyhow. Yeah. I'm doing the work, so like.
And I think
it doesn't matter.
One thing, like mentality wise, like a lot of people, because when I was at like my like thickest, I was like, I remember going to the gym and being like, it's embarrassing to go to the gym and to be out running and stuff, and people don't care. Right? Like people don't care. Like people, and the people that you notice in the gym are the people that are not like maybe out of shape or like super in shape. It's people that are doing wild shit in the gym, like, oh, we're gonna bench fucking 550 today, and you're like, what the fuck is that guy doing? You know, like it's unreal stuff. Or the dudes that like get on the cable machines look like Spider-Man, but you know that's that's what it is.
I don't know if I don't even think I've talked to you about this, or maybe I don't even think I've talked to Jordan about this. I'm convinced that there's like an like assassin in my gym, or like he's had to have done something cool in his life. He's this older man who just I don't know how old he is because of how agile he still is, but he's like 6'2", 6'3", this white dude, just white. He's got a full beard, and this dude, like, one of his routines that he does is he'll just basically like he'll army roll, get up, army roll again, get up, and then he'll do it backwards, and it's like, who the fuck trains like that for like at that age?
You don't know what, but he's seen some shit.
That's I see him and like I'm like he's seen shit for sure.
Yeah.
He's like the most fascinating dude to me in the gym, and he just casually does his own thing, and like I don't know why, but him doing like the roll, like the tumble thing, fucked my life up. I was just like I was like on the treadmill and I was just like, this guy this is why we have freedoms right now.
Walking at 2.5 on the treadmill, and then you're watching this man twice your age doing rolls.
Dude, straight rolls.
I had a moment like that. I was on the fucking Stairmaster, which I hate. It's a piece of shit.
Dude, fuck those things.
I hate it. But I was on the Stairmaster, and You know those treadmills that aren't powered, but they're curved? They're like a U shape.
Yeah.
And you use your body weight.
Right.
Like, the more you move forward, the faster it goes. I watched this older guy who was like pretty fit, like walk over. He's like casually talking to people. Yeah, you know, whatever. And he jumps on this thing. And then, so he starts like jogging. And so I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I'll get on there and walk, right? But if I get too fast, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die. I'm going to fall. So I'm fucking like dying on this Stairmaster, and I look over and he starts picking up pace, and then he's like, you know, like jogging on this thing, and then like he kind of looks at his watch, and it was almost like, oh, I don't have too much time left, and he digs in, and I've never seen anybody run this fast on a treadmill in my life, let alone a non-powered one that uses your own body weight. He just kind of leaned forward, and then it's like you couldn't even see his legs anymore. It's like, fuck. And he just, for like 15 minutes straight, I was like,
Built different.
there's no way. Like, I would do that for a minute and I'd have to stop and the world would be spinning around me. Like, there's no.
That's dangerous and irresponsible.
Yeah. Sir, if you were to fall, you'd hurt the person behind you. But it's like people, and I feel like we're probably not that far off in age from them anymore at this point.
Yeah.
So we got some catching up to do.
It's the biggest trip about getting older is slowly, like, it's not like there's one set thing that reminds you, but it's always just the out of nowhere reminders. You're no longer the youngest person in this room by any capacity.
Dude. Oh. And I love seeing like really, really fit, like people that are, I look at them, I'm like, damn, look at this guy in his 20s, 30s, young, looking great. It's like 48. I'm like, fuck. I look older than you.
Some people just have those genetics, man.
Dude.
So I don't know if this is a thing, but I've had 2 moments where I've looked gay, where I caught myself like staring at a dude, like, but I was just like,
Mouth open.
Yeah, but I was like watching his like technique, like how how he was. It was actually for a guy and a girl, so I look like a creep, and then I look gay in the other one, but just because I haven't deadlifted yet. Like, I'm like kind of afraid to. I haven't really done it yet. So when I see guys do it, I'm like watching, and this guy he's not big at all, and like the way he was doing his form was like perfect, but the way I was standing and the way, like, because I just like stopped doing what I was doing, and like the way I was standing, like, and it's a back view of him, I caught myself and I was like, oh man, this is not a good look.
Were you touching yourself?
I don't know. I don't know. Everything happens so fast. Who's to say? And then same thing with a girl. She was doing her thing, and like her performance was good. And I was like watching how she was doing it, and I like realized I look like a fucking creep right now.
Like somebody caught a glimpse of you for a second.
Somebody's watching me watch her right now, and they're like, "Oh, what a pervert!"
And you're
like,
now that guy.
Yeah.
You're now, every time they see you, oh, he's the one
he's that guy.
checking that chick out.
He's the pervert guy.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to learn form one way or another. You know what I mean? I've done the same thing, and just like little like glimpses watching somebody, because like deadlifting, like I'm always worried about my form on that. And like when you see somebody lifting with multiple 45 plates on each side, it's like, I want to learn from this guy's form. Like you can tell really quick, like if they know what they're doing or not. But with that much weight, usually they do. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, you don't want to be a creep, but like you want to see, like, you want to learn
fascinating.
it. Yeah. You want to get it right.
I'm not gay. I want to learn.
Yeah. But also, we could be gay if you feel inclined.
Oh my God.
Dude, so kind of getting back to your sciatica and stuff like that. How did that affect you filming and you shooting? Do you use a pretty heavy rig, or is it?
It's maybe about like 6 pounds. I try to keep it as lightweight as possible. I ended up. It was the night after Fugitive at 17. Day after Fugitive at 17:20. Mm-hmm. I took a whole month off.
Shit.
I didn't want. I'd say for the first 2 weeks, I couldn't really like walk too well. The first week, especially, like I was kind of having to grab onto like countertops or like edges just to like keep balance. My back would fully cramp up, and like I would try and have to like let it pass, but like the first 2-3 days, like I felt like the commercial, I've fallen and I can't get up. Yeah, it sucked. And so just, all right, I've got enough work to keep me going right now where I I can sit at home and I felt like that clip of SpongeBob where he's out and he sees or maybe Squidward, I don't remember which one, where he's looking out through the window and he sees his friends outside running and having fun. I'm just like, looks great, dude. I'm sitting at home for the third week in a row right now.
Yeah.
But I'm just glad it feels better now. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It always takes something like it to inconvenience you like that to where it's like, oh man, I really take this for granted, you know?
Yeah.
And did you have enough did you have enough content to just put out throughout that time that you were off?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had enough shows. December has been like one of the busiest months of the year. Mm-hmm. I did For the Children, and then the week prior to that, I went out to Little Rock, Arkansas, and did this event called Bangin' in the Rock.
Okay.
So I think around 70 sets.
Wow.
In total from that whole thing, and then just like regular shows filming in between then, trying to balance it all out. So like,
Yeah.
there's been plenty to like keep pushing these out. This has been waiting long enough, you know what I mean? It keeps me busy.
And when you're planning out like a release schedule, like what's your timeline look like? Do you try and get everything from this show out like consecutively, or do you save some to kind of place, you know, on your channel? Like, I'm just kind of curious what is that mindset to like continually draw people in to watch these?
Yeah, with like local shows, typically, you know, I'll do my best to just keep up like, this is the video that people are really going to want to see. Or if I have my really own strong enough opinion, I'm going to say, this was my favorite set from the night.
Right.
This might not be the one that's going to do hit numbers or something like that, but that doesn't really, it's not the biggest concern, honestly. So it's just, that's usually the kind of thought process on it. But like festivals, I try to balance that out to where it's like, if I throw out all the headliners, the bands that like most everybody knows and they didn't know that they would have liked some of these bands that were lower in the day, if I feel like if I throw those out, what's the reason to keep watching like in between, like who else played, you know what I mean? If you see, wow, like each band from this fest, like each video has been great, like each band's been really good. Oh, who's this? Skinhead from For the Children.
Right.
You know, just if you weren't in there and now you got to see something new, you know?
Yeah.
Try to not blow the load so fast.
Yeah.
That's fine. I didn't thought about that. That's
Something to where it's just like, I don't know, I want to force people somehow, some way without actually forcing them. Like, you got to give some love to these smaller bands too, because they're just as good. You're not going to keep having all these big bands if you're not going to give the younger, newer bands that chance to shine. You know what I mean?
dude, it really is such a cool way to experience a new band. Mm-hmm. You know, because like, I don't know. I think for me, it's been like the pandemic was fun for me because it like, you know, it kind of, one, I was trying to get back into the scene, and it was cool to have like a time to, I can watch videos now, and like that was my time to kind of see newer bands for me. And I think I lost that excitement of being like, oh, like who's this band? And then like this set is sick. And and being able to see that from, you know, bands like, you know, in our local scene, but also, you know, gotten some bands that have come through, which is cool. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I like that that's like a new way to discover bands now. Yeah, it's important to like to utilize it as a tool to find those new bands. You know what I mean? Like, that's always like my hope of just the platform of I like, yes, posting big bands that are going to do well. Sure, that's great. Who's not going to be happy about something like that? But the more important factor, at least to my attention out of it, is like, I want you to find these newer bands that are like, this is great. I love this band. Listen to this. Like, I don't know. You can't force the people to do it, but you just do everything you can to try and get that like in front of them of like, you want to listen to this band, you know? Yeah.
And what's cool is like seeing, you know, watching some of those smaller bands or like maybe lesser known bands play. like sometimes you'll see some shit happen during their set where you're like, oh fuck, like that was rad.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like, oh, I didn't know that they would do this, or like I didn't know this vocalist was this strong, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing is it's cool because it draws you in.
Yep.
And something that, like, you know, it's kind of annoying in some aspect to just see like the perspective of just one cell phone, like in the crowd, and it's like all, like nothing's clear, and like, you know, their hand on the mic, so everything's muffled, versus something that's so well produced that, you know, that, like the stuff that you're putting out, where you're like, you can actually see the band, you can actually hear the band, you can, you know, there's clarity here.
Yeah.
It's a cool like dynamic. You know?
Yeah, the same. You give the same attention to like a local as opposed to like who the headliner was.
Yeah.
It's like that same video, so you don't get the, I don't know. It's like everyone gets a good representation, which
Yeah.
is cool because a lot of bands, you know, you don't have that. It's like if you're hoping that your buddy got a good shot of you, otherwise like no one's gonna.
Yeah.
No, people rarely post like the openers for anything.
I mean, selfishly, it comes from the time of like when I started going to shows like mid 2000s and everything like that. All those shows I grew up wanting to or going to as a young teenager, more than likely don't have any video at all.
Yeah.
Or if they do, it looks good, sounds horrible, or sounds good and looks horrible.
Yep.
So it's just like, it's wanting to find that happy in between. So selfishly, like I have those, I'm glad you and anybody else can go back and watch those, but more importantly, I want those to go back and watch. So that way it's like 10, 20 years from now, I can go back and just, if it's just seeing people that maybe unfortunately they're not here anymore, or just different time periods, and you see all these familiar faces, and it takes you back a little bit. You know what I mean? You remember just certain little memories that just all come back with seeing certain things from that time period, you know?
Dude, I kind of have that with I've been trying to go back and see like old shows. I was like, okay, I was at the show at Showcase. Does this exist? And more often than not, it doesn't. But like every now and then, I'll see like a show pop up, and I'm like, oh fuck, I was there.
Yeah,
you know. And
Gabe posting it.
yeah,
always Gabe.
for real, it is.
Happy birthday, Gabe.
Yeah, dude, is his birthday?
It is his
Oh,
birthday.
happy birthday, Gabe.
Papa Gabe.
We're recording on Tuesday today, so
Dude,
it's his birthday.
yeah, it's just like it is exciting, and like I think that's cool that I guess this generation gets to have that.
Yeah.
It's like
I think another thing too, like I constantly like wish that I could find like old videos of my old band, Creative Void. Like
Yeah.
it's so hard to find.
I'm not saying that for you. I'm saying it for myself.
Yeah,
Sorry.
like it's so hard to watch.
No, when you said that, I was like,
Yeah.
but I wasn't. That wasn't for you. That was I'm thinking of old NBR
Like
shit.
think about like if you could find like old NBR videos where you were still playing guitar in the band, right? I don't
know.
Like,
I don't
but
know.
not because like we were fucking rad back then, but just to be like, oh yeah, I remember this, right? Like I wish there was footage of you filling in for me at Sound and Fury.
I have a
There's
video.
not. Well, send it to me. I want to see it because I never like I always hear about it, but like I never got to see like you singing these songs, right?
sure.
Like that. So shit like that, like even that show at the Gilman, like I found like there's 2 videos that were filmed at the Gilman that are on the Pure Noise page,
Oh, sick.
and I was like, oh, I forgot about these, and that feeling of like, oh fuck, that's so sick, you know. And once again, like sounds good.
Yep.
Video's kind of whatever, you know, but it's like like single shot from up top, and then like the guy would turn the camera if there was ever a mosh part, and then you go back to stage. Right? That's cool.
I mean, 2 points I'm going to bring up here, kind of around the same subject, but like going back to just videos from Showcase in particular, right? Nobody knew that they were going to be as big as they are now.
Right.
But there's this legendary video of AFI playing Showcase during their prime days. Yeah. I go back and rewatch that video like at least once a month. And, you know, you're just glad that it was filmed because, like I said, nobody knew that they were going to be the band that they are today.
Yeah.
And that's just to echo on that point. That is like a big thing too, of just having that to look back on. Another example for it would be like Drain. I filmed them at a church in Murrieta. I can't remember what the fest was called, but they played to maybe 20 people in that room. They're playing the Forum and I think it's already sold out, but they're playing the Forum in a couple months, and it's a big change, and it's cool to go back and have those memories to look back on of just like, yeah, I've seen it go from point A all the way to point B here.
That's
like,
cool.
You know, it's all just part of the process, I guess.
The Drain dudes are so young, too.
Yeah, really nice, dude.
Best group of dudes.
Yeah, they're so nice. Like when I met them at the Soma show, and they were all super.
Yeah, not a knock on them, but I remember being like, because I'm like, yeah, they have so much energy, and then I met them, and I'm like, oh, these guys are young.
Yep.
Yeah, they're in their 20s.
But I mean, that being said, they also just have a lot of energy. They're just
and they fucking rip. They're so good at what they do.
I think they finally got their lineup like dialed in with the perfect setup. They just added my buddy Slam Jameson's on bass now. He's been playing with them for a minute. And I think he just fits their energy perfectly. Yeah. He'll post like reels on his Instagram where he's got a wireless bass rig, and you'll see him running around the entire field of people and everything outside when they've been playing like Punk in the Park or something crazy. I don't know. It's cool to kind of see like this feels right.
Yeah, it's that energy that like draws people in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like it's this is gonna sound like me talking shit, but it's not. Like it's usually either there's a ton of energy, but like maybe the band itself doesn't fully back up the energy, or vice versa. The band is really good, but they're like we're statues on stage, right? So it's like, and finding that middle ground where all the pieces come together, like that's when you know, like, oh fuck, like they're like you can still run around and still shred. I can't do that.
No,
I fucking can't do
not
that.
at all.
I might jump here and there, and then I gotta fucking really focus on the part that I gotta play. So yeah, it's cool, and seeing a band like Drain like doing fun shit too. Like, oh, also we've got this inflatable raft, and the homie's gonna surf on you guys during this breakdown. You know,
it's a beach party everywhere they're at, pretty much. You know what I mean? Like,
love it.
You might be seeing Drain nowhere near California, but for the next 40 minutes, however long they're playing, you are in California.
Yeah. It's the hardcore Beach Boys, dude.
Love it.
It's dope.
So I guess I was gonna ask if you had any bands that it's like, hey, do you remember seeing a band that was here and now they're here? I guess Drain might be one of the biggest extremes with that.
Drain is definitely the biggest extreme. Only the second to that, but still, I saw them. I don't remember what tour it was on, but I saw Knocked Loose play at Chain Reaction for the first time. That's a whole different story in itself now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, same but different. Very different in the aspect of watching Drain to play to majority friends, and then now seeing where they're at. Knock Loose had already had some traction at that point, but still, even where they're at, that speaks for itself. I'd say Drain would be like the biggest glow up that I've kind of seen from like start to finish. You know what I mean? Not finished. The story's far from finished, but that's the main one that comes to my mind, honestly.
Is there? Sorry, now I'm gonna just throw you a bunch of questions that I have now. What's a set or a band that you like? You put up, and like you said, you get a lot, or there's bands that you're excited to see. What's a band that maybe like you put it up and it just got like crazy views, and you're like, oh shit, where did this come from? Or have you had any surprises like that, like a set kind of blowing up that you're like, oh.
I'd say probably just because I don't think I'm fully in tune with that scene as much as certain metalcore bands of I guess in the best way possible or a nicest way possible, like underestimate of like, oh, this is dope, and then it goes online and it does way bigger than I thought. I'm like, oh, what do I know? You know what I mean? I'd say metalcore, like that genre altogether, like
just as a whole. Like
yeah. That one usually takes me by surprise. There was one set from a local band out here actually last year. Like, I think going back to the topic of using the platform to promote smaller bands was Smoke 909.
Yeah.
Smoked Space 909.
Yeah.
Sorry, David, not sorry. They played Mosh for Youth, and they did a cover of Eyeless from Slipknot.
Yeah.
And people lost their minds. And I used that as this is going to be the social media post for this band. Granted, yeah, it's not their song, but it sounded great.
Right.
It blew up on TikTok. It did so well on social media, and a bunch of people got to find them. And that one kind of like took me by surprise. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it filled the criteria on quite a few marks, you know?
I remember, having him on the show and just like being so impressed with how much they did in such little time.
Yeah.
Like just like they came out the gates fucking swinging.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, hell yeah, this is rad, and I just love to see it. Like, cool. We're going to do this.
Yep.
Starting now.
Yeah, I'm happy that they're like one, they're good dudes, and that their band is good with a name like Smoke 909.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah,
to
it's
Nine.
Yeah, it's like, oh, please rep it well, and then like, you see them, you're like, fuck yeah.
I also love like how not serious but serious they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like we can have fun but still do heavy.
I don't remember the name of the song itself, but if I remember correctly, like one of their outros or something like that had a song that was a staple in Stater Brothers. Have you really lived in the Inland Empire if you haven't worked at Stater Brothers at some point in time? And they played that, and like David's just mentioning everything, i.e., and it was just like, yeah, this captures it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that band, I've told David so many times this year, I'm probably a broken record on of like 2024 is Smoked year.
Yeah.
I remember maybe by the second time I had seen them, I was shooting a video for Upon Stone, and I had told X, who works with SOS Booking, like, check this band out. Like this rocks. Like this is huge for Inland Empire. Like you need to like please check them out. And anybody that would really listen at that point of just like Smoked, like throwing it in everybody's ear of like, you want to listen to this band,
Yeah.
They ride hard for the Inland Empire. Somebody's got to carry the flag.
Yeah. It's sick. And as far as like for you, so you were saying like usually the metalcore stuff kind of like catches you off guard if it blows.
Yeah.
Right? What's your go-to, I guess, like genre that you prefer? Like if you're coming out and like, I want to shoot a show, is this hardcore shows? Is this like beat down shit? Do you know?
Definitely like hardcore. There's been, it feels like a resurgence in like a lot of faster hardcore coming out lately. And that has felt like the biggest like fresh breath of relief, or not relief, but like just a fresh breath of like, I forgot how much I miss this. And now there's more bands like that playing on more shows lately. And I think that like, maybe it's just a flavor of the month right now, but like going back to that fast style has just been, it's been nice. That one's kind of been the more enjoyable aspect to it. Like some bands have certain aspects that like, oh, I like filming this one for like X reason, but like across the board, if like the crowd wants to participate in everything like that, it's just like the coolest shit in the world. Yeah. Human Garbage, they just played, it was when Tsunami just played Bricks when they did that show outside. That was the coolest Human Garbage set ever. Like there was so many people in that lot already. And like there were so many young kids up at front singing, and then you've got kids far beyond the full row of people in the front that are all moshing. It's just like, sick. This is the coolest shit ever. This is how this should be. Like breakdowns are dope, but like you don't need the world's heaviest breakdowns to make a good show. Like this is all you need right here.
I keep trying to like reiterate to people, anybody that'll listen, like it doesn't matter how low you tune. If you have good riffs, like it's going to be heavy. Yep. Right? Like the way that you write your songs is going to be heavy. Yep. Like you don't have to go drop A, and I'm sure Dan will argue with me on that because he wants to go lower. But yeah, we don't have to be like so low to make it fucking tough and fucking heavy. Like it's just all about the riff and the way you write. But dude, I'm all about the fast hardcore. Like every time I try and do torture culture stuff, I'm like 185 or higher BPM. Because I try and do anything slower, and I'm like, it's too slow.
Sometimes fast riffs just hit just right. Yep. Kind of not a crazy riff by any capacity, but like what was it? I was watching the LDB 2024 stream, and King 9 had just played.
Yeah.
And they did the intro into Art of War. I might have that part backwards, but I know that they played the two.
Those two together. Yeah.
And like the only thing I'm thinking of is like, what's the heavier intro of the two? Like, is it like Downpresser intro or the King 9 intro? But like both of them, nothing crazy in terms of like what's being played, but both the heaviest ass beater riffs in the world. Downpresser, I think, is just open dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Like it works.
It's just iconic at this point. Like you say Downpresser intro and people are like,
Kids these days don't know how scary that Downpresser intro used to be. But the year at Sound and Fury when the person got knocked out, and then they just closed the set back out again with the Downpresser intro. It's iconic.
dude, Sound and Fury, man. It hurts my soul every time.
This year's gonna be dope.
This year is gonna be fucking rad.
The whole lineup for it,
Yeah.
I think they knocked this out of the park.
Yeah, and it's Sound and Fury. Sound and Fury is interesting to me because the evolution over the years. Like now, looking at it, like you've got to be a band that's doing not just like hardcore, but you got to be doing something interesting hardcore to be added to these. And it's not just like I know somebody so we can get on this show anymore. It's like you got to be doing something cool or there's no shot.
Yeah.
You know? So
two bands that like I think stand out to what you're saying. First, and I'm gonna start it off with rest in peace, but Cola Boy. That was just he's incredible at what he does, and it's just that speaks to exactly what you're saying of like you have to be doing something very interesting, and like that dude rocked at what he did.
Yeah.
The second one last year was this band called Model Actress, and same marked every criteria on that box.
Yeah.
You know, they have a very diverse lineup.
Yeah,
every year.
It's cool and it's I love that it's become such a big, you know, like festival. Like it's almost like in our world, like fucking playing Sound and Fury, sick.
Yeah,
like you're doing that shit.
Yep.
Is Ray still a part of it? Is it Ray? Is it Ray? That was.
I don't know.
That's what.
Part of Sound and Fury.
As far as I know, the main. I think it's 3 people now. For when it came back, I believe it was Martine from Terror, and then Riley, and then now they have Madison, who still does, but has his hands tied with Brain Dead. His name is Madison. Does Suburban Fight.
Okay.
I believe it's those 3 that mainly put it together, and they're not starting, but they kind of have a full team now that like helps fill in everything to get everything across the finish line, because it's a lot of work putting in all that, and they're all just already the busiest dudes in general, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know how people find time. Like
no sleep,
especially Martin. He's like in a couple bands, and then
couple bands is life.
I know.
A couple bands.
Couple dope ass bands. But
yeah, I mean, I don't know how they find the time to do it, you know. I think I'm busy, and then I know like some of them are one of them is a dad, and then you know Martine is doing all of his music stuff. So that still puts it really lightly, but you know it's just their hands are all really full across the board, but they still each year put together the dopest lineup.
Yeah. That's like for sure labor of love type shit, because that's like, okay, not only are we gonna like it at that point it's become so big that you could almost just be like, yeah, just whoever's dope right now, like get them on. But like the fact that it's so curated, like you look at these lineups and they're well thought out and well put together at this point, so it's a straight labor of love now.
Do you have a Liquid Death endorsement sponsorship?
Like
unofficial.
Our homie,
The Wayne's World style.
Yeah.
So fresh.
Our homie, who's always, you know, kind of supported us early on. We joked on the podcast like, hey, we're gonna suck Liquid Death's dick until they start giving us free water.
And suck we did.
And then, you know, our homie Raw, shout out Raw. was like, "Hey, I work there." So we started like kind of plugging it and everything. But I mean, it helps us out because like keeps everybody hydrated.
Yep.
It's crisp, refreshing.
And shout out another shout out to Raul. Even for like NBR when we did our run, he had some of his reps like bring some cases of some of the stops, which was awesome.
Yeah. That's dope.
Even like early on that little weekend run we did, like he made sure that we had water at like at all the venues. Right. We had some for the road and things like that. So
that's dope.
Yeah,
I had a friend for a little while there. His name's Daniel. He plays drums for the home team. He was working at Topo Chico for a good long while.
Sick.
Sent me a couple of cases over the pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
I was on a big not seltzer water because what would you call it? Then just non-alcoholic water. I can't think of what you would call it, but
sparkling.
Thank you. Topo Chico is really good.
Yeah, and it's another one that's not like super like syrupy, where you get some that are either super syrupy or like really have no flavor at all.
Yeah.
So Topo Chico's good.
Dude, the pandemic is when I got into sparkling water. Is that a thing? I feel like casually you just said it, right? That was when you got into it.
Yeah.
I got into it during the pandemic. Were you into it?
What?
Sparkling water?
No.
I was a full LaCroix. I would die for LaCroix over the. I mean, I can't remember the name of the flavor. I could tell you, like, if I'm at the grocery store, I can tell you it's this
color.
one here.
Yeah.
But
I know the can.
There was one that I would die for that flavor. It was so good.
Dude, I've never been like a sparkling water guy. Like, it just the only one I liked was like that back in the day, the Clearly Canadian.
Yeah.
That came in the glass bottles. That was bomb, but that was also like super sweet.
Fancy bougie.
Yeah.
Sparkling water.
Yeah, but I was never into like even now, like if you just give me plain like seltzer water, like I can't. I have to let it sit until it's flat, and then maybe I can.
What?
No way.
Just like
that's the thing with those seltzer waters. Like you have to drink them so fast because if you let it sit there, it's flat, and it's like this sucks.
I've come a long way. Me and seltzer water have come a long way. In Europe,
they
that's
all they have.
Your rock star,
my rock star fucking meltdown, dude. I behaved poorly.
The fuck is this? I said no bubbles.
I acted poorly.
I heard it drives people crazy. Well, not that I've heard it drives people crazy. I've heard stories enough to where it's like, yeah, if you're not a big fan of it, yeah.
Well, it's just like, so in Europe, that's like majority of like any water you find bottled for the most part, it's like sparkling water. Yeah. And at the time, I didn't like it. I didn't fuck with it at all. And so, but we got pretty good at like you'd ask. All the bands would ask like, "Hey, can we get water with no bubbles?"
Yeah,
and at least for the performance.
Yeah, just for on stage. And they're like, "Oh yeah, got it." And so, what tour was it? I don't remember what tour it was, but I remember it was in Sweden. And we'd been asking like, "Hey, can we please make sure, no bubble in the water, blah blah." And so they brought him out, and then it was like. So I'm on stage, and like my first big drink out of it, and it's like this warm. It just wasn't good.
Yeah, warm. I mean, you could have just said warm right there, and that sounds like a bad time already.
Yeah. I'm good with just like if just normal drinking water. If it's warm and I'm on stage, fine. Like that's good. But just to have it and then have that taste, like I was like, I don't know what it set off in me. I want to say there's probably other things going on in my life.
That was the boiling point.
Dude, it was splashed in the promoter's face.
Oh, no.
I didn't.
He was like, "What the fuck is this?"
The tell-all experience. It comes out now.
I just threw it. I don't know where it went.
Did you actually throw it? I was joking.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. I was just like, and we're like in the middle of like our, playing one of our songs, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm normally pretty like, hey, can we like twist this out, or like, I'm usually pretty. It doesn't take much to rile me. I mean, it takes a lot to get me like riled up, and for whatever reason, I don't know why, but that set me off, and I was like, I was being the biggest asshole for like, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, but we've come a long way.
The straw that broke the camel's back.
It was, dude. I acted so poorly.
I mean, I get it. Like you're on stage and you're trying to like, and you get that bite of the seltzer water. Oh,
Yeah.
As a vocalist, I feel like that would just not be good
It's not ideal
to help you at all.
Yeah. I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Because even now, like we'll have like band practice with Burns every now and then. We'll have them. And I'm like, I enjoy these when I can casually drink them. I don't want this right now. And I'm like,
I feel like that would make you burp.
that too.
I don't know, the carbonation. I remember like always burping a lot when I would drink those, and it's like I couldn't imagine doing vocals having that, like trying to do like scream and then like mid like, oh, you feel it coming. It's like no.
Yeah.
And then the burn too.
Yeah.
It's that spicy water. You know what I mean?
Spicy water. Yeah. The Topo Chico one, they had like a lemon twist one.
Mm-hmm.
It tasted like 7-Up and it was so good.
It's the best.
Yeah. Shout out Topo Chico.
I don't know that I've had that one.
I didn't know they had it until it got sent, and then that kind of set me on like, this is now my drink. This is all I want. I don't want any more LaCroix. I want this.
This is happening.
Yeah, it felt fancy too because it was in bottles and not cans.
Yeah, I've seen them. I don't think I've ever had one.
That one's pretty good. I'd say you got to check that one out.
You want to get some questions?
Yeah.
Let's get these questions out here. There's some good ones in there.
There you go. A lot. First one, Adrian, Harsh Reality. He said, Steven, in your honest opinion, what's the...
Oh, no.
Steven.
This is for him.
Yeah. He said, Steven, in your honest opinion, what's the difference between a raccoon and a possum?
Man, Adrian, you're making me look stupid. I don't know. You tell me.
I'll help you. One's a rat from hell. That's a possum.
Okay.
And the other one is just one of the God's just amazing creatures.
Trash panda or whatever you want to call them.
They're just incredible creatures. They
Yeah.
pick shit up with their hands.
I'll answer this. One has hair. One doesn't.
One has
Raccoon
a
is
rat face.
Raccoon is a possum with a good haircut.
Don't fuck with either of them. I don't know. Too many similarities. What kind of question is that, Adrian?
So
Looking
Mike,
at you.
Mike has this unreal love for raccoons, which is why they're everywhere.
Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense now.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad, OG.
He's like, why do you have rats on your...
Yeah. Why do you have possums on your microphone?
I was looking at those. I'm like, maybe that's just like one of the brand things, and I just don't know. Like they're placed so perfectly.
That's where it came from. Mike. One day we just realized Mike had this unhealthy obsession with raccoons.
Okay.
That's why there's a fucking raccoon stuffed animal in the cabinet right there. And we were like, Mike, what is this love of raccoons that you has? He's like, they're beautiful creatures and they have thumbs.
They pick things up with their hands. They look like bandits. They look like they're wearing sweats, too. If you look at it, it looks like their sleeves rolled up.
Yeah,
They're just
it
hanging
looks
out in
like
gray
a
sweats.
possum has sweatpants on.
Dude, I hate when you say that. They're rats, dude. They don't stand up on their feet. That's the thing, too.
Out of all
Raccoons can run.
obsessions, could have been, breed of dogs,
Yeah.
raccoons. Corgis?
Corgis are cute.
Corgis are adorable.
Shih Tzus for him.
Yeah, I have a Shih Tzu. I love my Shih Tzu. I love my Coda. But
I'm biased on the Corgis. I got one little guy at home.
oh,
He's a ham.
dude, they're cute. They're really cute dogs.
Very demanding.
Really.
Yes.
They're needy.
I can't say sometimes anything, like if you say it in a certain tone, but I can't even say okay or really sometimes without him immediately like poking his head up like, oh, we're going outside. I don't know. It's I've got a story here. Cut this part out if this isn't podcast appropriate here.
All right.
I don't remember how we like got from point A to point B, but we've had him trained. He associates going potty with the words hookers and cocaine.
Nice.
So we can tell him, Bubba, hookers and cocaine. He'll flip. And
I love that. That's
like,
awesome.
I'll sit there like, do you want more hookers or do you want cocaine? And he's just barking at you nonstop.
Just
like,
stoked.
yeah.
He's like, yes, the
I
boat.
love that. First off, it's staying in the podcast.
Good.
Second of all, that's like the best, like out of context for anybody else that hears that. They'd be like, what is he saying to his dog? Why is he so excited?
When I've shown some people that like I call it his party trick, they kind of have a weird look like, what are you doing in this house? I'm like, it's funny.
It's the wee party trick. Okay? I love that.
It's my favorite thing with him.
I love it.
Yeah, Adrian, you're out there for that question, buddy.
He's got another one.
Oh,
He said, actually, I don't think we asked this. When did you start 197? First band filmed. Also, when are we going to gym?
I actually saw these, which is why I didn't ask that. Like, oh, these are coming later. Cool. Not the gym question, but
197, I think, officially got its start. It was 2016. My now wife and I, we were in our first apartment. I was working in Fullerton and lived in Murrieta.
Oh.
So my life was pretty much all just
driving
to work, getting home. I have like one full day off, and then the next day I'm back in bed by 6-7 o'clock because I got to be up at 3 a.m. I got a year in review from Xbox, and I ended up playing, I think, total hours accumulated 3 months worth of video games. And that was like, I already had the idea of, I want to film bands. But when I saw that, I'm like, I'm doing something. Like, I'm getting out of the apartment. Like this, I have nothing to show for my year.
Yeah.
First band I filmed under 197 proper. It was a house show. I don't remember who was all on it, to be quite honest with you. The video is still on the channel.
Sick.
But it was a house show in Wildemar at this place called Dad's Den. They had shows there for a little while. Even I missed it entirely, but Knock Loose and Orthodox even played there. At one, yeah. So there's some IE lore for you.
Yeah.
And then
This was just like legit somebody's house, or
yeah, he would do it in his garage.
That's fucking sick.
And there was a good amount of kids that were coming out to each and every single show. It was doing pretty well for a while.
Oh.
So it's crazy how things can change so fast.
Yeah.
You know? What was the third question there? Jim?
Gym, when are you guys going to gym?
When he comes to me in Lake Elsinore, I don't want to drive out to Riverside and deal with that 91 traffic.
That's fair.
It's easier coming my direction than it is to drive out here.
That's fair.
I feel like this is like a word, and I'm just old and don't get it. But it's 113 orbs. Does that ring a bell?
Okay.
It just has a goat.
Thank you. Yeah. What if I didn't know what goat was? Just like, what do you want me to say? Like, bah.
Yeah.
You're like once.
Once.
It was once. Let it go.
It was only one time.
I love that joke where it's like I've painted masterpieces. Nobody calls me a painter. He's like I've what is that? I've created big sculptures, or I built big sculptures, but nobody calls me a builder.
My buddy Angel.
Fuck one goat.
Jesus.
That's a joke.
My buddy Angel, the band's dead now, just recently, but he sings for this band called Muerte Buena.
He's gonna be here next week.
Dude rocks.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear him say this too often. Punish them into the ground for this. Everything he says, oh, that's goated. Oh, that's goated. And I tell him, like, it doesn't work like that. You can't say 5 things are goated in the same category.
Yeah.
One thing has to be the goat if you're gonna say, like,
Yeah. It's got to be one.
he kills me. Everything with that kid. It's just, oh yeah, it's goated. That's goated. You're goated. He's goated.
His episode. Goated.
Yeah.
Dude.
Title just needs to be I'm goated.
Yeah.
All right, we have one from the birthday boy himself, Gabe.
All right.
He said, "Why is he so afraid of rubber snakes?"
You're a dick for that, Gabe.
Oh, I'm excited.
I'm taking back my happy birthday to you. I'm terrified of snakes in general. Like, that is, I'd say like heights would probably be worse, but like snakes are probably more realistic, you know?
Due to experience or just watching Anaconda?
Just, I don't know, something about snakes just rubs me the wrong way.
Okay.
I think it was like the first real tour that Darsum did. There's a video of it. I know Gabe has it. Maybe if you can find a way to splice that in, or you want no. Just keep that. Just watch it yourself and laugh.
Yeah.
He wakes me up with a fake plastic snake, and I wake up and I see a fake snake right in my face, and I jumped up, made a whole shriek, shrill sound, whatever you want to call it. Oh, I was freaked out. Gabe got me really good on that one. He's a prankster. Like, I don't know. That's the secret thing, or like the silent thing to him of like, I don't know. I never took him to be like the prankster guy, but like, yeah, it's when you're asleep, he'll fuck with you.
Dang, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Fucked up, but awesome.
I love it.
Abused at 18 years old.
I love it. Oh man. Okay, this is from You Him Confused.
Okay, Abel, that's my roommate. I'm confused.
I'm confused.
He plays in Ashiki.
Oh, sick, dude.
And Big Ass Truck.
Big ass. Is that really?
He's literally got a band called Big Ass Truck.
I love that.
Oh yeah. He said, "Who would win in a boxing match, Bubba or Rocky?"
Oh, so Bubba's the corgi I was telling you about. Rocky's my little chihuahua at home.
Chihuahuas are scrappy.
Rocky's a little scrappy guy. I don't know. Rocky cowers too much. Bubba's gonna fuck him up for sure.
And then our boy David from Smoke 99, he said, "Do it stank."
It's stank. Smoked Space 909.
Okay, and then it's from our boy Tyke. Welcome to the Tyke Show. He said favorite show he's ever captured on film, and then I guess part two also. I guess this is part two. Most violent show that scared him.
Favorite show that I've ever filmed. That's a ever changing type.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's really hard to say. Even in the like looking at it from like favorite from what degree, like, do I love this band and that's why it's one of my favorites? Did they just have one of the craziest sets that I've ever gotten to see? Was it a certain scenario? Like, Sound and Fury as a whole was very dope. I think actually one of my favorite moments out of 197, so we could put this under like a favorite show category. Going back to Drain, they headlined, what was it, day 2 of Sound and Fury or something like that. And that was so cool to just see like my friends winning in such like a large scale level, like how we said, it's Sound and Fury, like it's a big deal. So cool in that aspect. Sometimes it's the same band and it's just the most recent one. I love Twitching Tongues. Now, like, I've had favorite ones from them, but like it made it more special with unfortunate circumstances of that last 1720 set that I got to see. Like, that is my favorite for quite a few reasons now, you know. To narrow it down on that one, that's kind of, I don't know. It could just be a situational thing of like looking back of like, oh, it's this one. Yeah. Ask me the next day and it'll be a different answer. I don't know. It's a really hard one to narrow down. The most violent show. That's how you get people in trouble. I'm not going to go into any details out of it, but it was a Section 8 show at 1720.
Okay.
And that was just a dope gig all around. Yeah. That's all, you know. Yeah. That's all that needs to be said out of that one.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
And then another David from... 97 minutes.
David from...
It took you 97 minutes to remember.
Yeah.
Good one.
He said, would you ever consider a permanent assistant because of the growth of your channel?
To second that, especially now that you've taken on extra work.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of feels picky in the sense of like, there's layers to this answer here. Mm-hmm. We're going to start off with picky to the sense of like, it's not so much just like, yes, it is a YouTube channel and it's grown,
Right.
but like this is archiving for my eye.
Right.
Not that like like that anybody's work isn't good enough for it, but almost I'd rather keep it to the work that I've done, just for the sense of like, this is what like I have archived like for myself. You know what I mean?
Literally doing this just for you.
Yes.
And if other people like it, awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But at the same time now, it's a platform in itself, and it does very good, and it gives bands an opportunity to be seen. So kind of feels like selfish taking away from the scene of, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, it's a hard one to answer, but the biggest thing to that is this is such a labor of love. I through like ad revenue, I pretty much barely make enough to just cover gas and paying for subscriptions for like Adobe and things like that to like overhead. I cannot look you in the eyes and say, hey, do you want to go spend all this money to go and do this and like get nothing in return? Like,
Yeah.
I don't even make enough money out of my regular Monday through Friday to say, here's this to cover this. Like, if I don't have that kind of money, like I don't want to ask, just, it feels rude. You know what I mean? So it would be great. And I would love to like see it, like it would prosper so much more having like another hand involved in it all. But I don't know. It's kind of even just the stubbornness of like running it. It's kind of grown slightly beyond a one-man operation, but keeping it like under that umbrella for the most part, you know?
Yeah.
On a quick shout out or a note on that, shout out to Brad from Local Man Recordings. He's been doing quite a bit of mixing for me lately, and that's where the one-man operation kind of dies off just a bit. His work's incredible, and
He's mixing audio for you?
yeah. He does a really good job. His alter ego is Pete Zaw. Shout out Pete Zaw.
Nice.
And then David also had his two more.
All right.
He said, never forget the glass shop.
The glass shop was an experience. That room was so hot. Just shout out to Andres for doing everything he could to provide a venue. You know what I mean? Yeah. We were just talking about, I think off camera, where you were saying that you wanted to start a venue out here, and they're scarce out here. Something pops up and it's gone just as fast, you know?
And I think that the big thing too that we've always brought up is you got to have a venue that has the punk rock mentality and understands what happens during these shows.
Right.
Yep.
Right? Like, you know, you see venues that will pop up and then they don't last long because they weren't ready for trash cans being thrown, or like, you know, somebody kicks a hole in the wall or punches a hole in the wall. And they're like, oh, you're damaging our location. Like, dude, this...
They looked at it with dollar signs in their eyes, and their interest wasn't in the shows themselves. It was, this is going to benefit me because this is doing well.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here with that mentality.
It's not... This is already... Unfortunately, this is already a genre of music that's not known for making money.
Yes. Right? The money-making thing, I feel like, is very new.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
It's dope in the sense you're seeing your friends that are touring, and you guys have both done this. I've done this substantially less. There wasn't money to be made.
No.
And now you're seeing a new side to that. It's like, go make that money. Like, go do it.
We have a Walking Blind group chat, and you know, like with some listeners of the show, and somebody had recently brought up like, how, you know, what do you guys think of seeing hardcore becoming more mainstream, right? And then, you know, like there's like varying opinions. Some people saying like, well, it kind of sucks because, you know, you're going to see somebody, like, let's just say wearing a Hatebreed shirt that doesn't necessarily listen to Hatebreed, but they're rocking the shirt because that's what's in right now. And my take on it was kind of like, you know, when it comes to hardcore, like the fact that it's becoming more mainstream is nice because now the dudes that are grinding and trying to like tough it out day after day just to like get their bills paid, now there's more longevity for these dudes. Like, oh, if there's more money coming in, we can do this longer.
Yeah.
You know? So your favorite bands that have that are doing this, like if there's more money coming into the scene, great, like you can play longer.
Yep.
You know, a lot of people fall off because it's hard to maintain.
Yep.
And then another thing too, like, yeah, you're gonna see people like rocking shirts or like, you know, repping for this scene that might not necessarily be involved, but they get like pretty much noticed the second that they actually show up to a show.
Yeah.
Like you know who's actually in this and who's not.
Yeah.
And I mean, who cares? Like if you're like if a kid that's never seen Torch Culture play is out there wearing a Torch Culture shirt, I'm fine with that because other people are gonna see that fucking t-shirt.
Yep.
You know, it is what it is. But
I don't remember the full quote exactly, but I remember Taylor Young said something along the lines of, people are always going to be able to see what's real and what's not. And say that a million times for each person, each layer in the back of just the sooner that gets through, the better.
One thing I always loved when you would see the, you know, like the old heads of metal where you like kids start wearing Slayer shirts and you're like, name fucking 3 Slayer songs. Shut up, dude. Like people are seeing the Slayer shirt.
Go put them on.
Yeah.
You know, like to kind of add to like people being upset about hardcore growing. Sure, have your opinion on it, what you will.
Right.
I hate the discourse behind it. Truthfully, it doesn't matter. I feel like there's more focus and emphasis on the discourse of, well, all these kids are coming in and blah, 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 rather than, why don't we talk about like how many bands are coming through right now? There's so many other positive things that you could talk about, be focused on, be posting about on Twitter, whatever the fuck. Pardon my language on that one, but like, why? Like, I don't know. There's so many more productive things that you could contribute to this all rather than discourse.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We were all the new kids at one point. We were all the, why are you here? Like, you know, what do you know about any of this? Well, we're still here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in my early 30s now. You said 40?
40.
You know, like we're still here. Like it all starts somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got to give people an opportunity to like, you know, you know, people don't know that they're going to see their potentially favorite band.
Yeah.
Or have their life drastically change.
Mm-hmm.
Like I loved that about, you know, like the 6 Year Guns guys.
Yeah.
You know, there was a time when they were doing some pretty mixed bill tours, you know, and people were giving them shit like, oh, why would they go out with that band? And it's like, there was so many people that were like changed by seeing a band like 6 Year Guns, you know, when all you've known is like, not to knock anyone's art, but like, you know, they're going for a certain type of, you know, message or even just like, you know, music that their friends were into and they maybe don't connect with it, but it's like fun and it's cool, you know. But to like walk away changed and different and like now wanting to like, you know, research something about, you know, the way your world works or questioning, you know, how you view certain subjects in life. And it's like, I love that people get that opportunity, you know. Same thing with Warped Tour too. Like there are some bands that were on Warped Tour and people are like, oh, I can't believe they, you know, this band would play Warped Tour. It's like they're getting an opportunity.
Same thing like with Warped Tour tents. Like you'd see these tiny bands playing tents and you're like, who's that?
It was us.
I might be completely mistaken here, but if I remember correctly, the lore behind with Terror playing that was the hopes that just maybe these Warped Tour kids will find real hardcore.
Yeah.
In a world full of metalcore, kids walking around saying, oh, this is hardcore. Terror is literally there to show you this is hardcore.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I would love to, like, I mean, I don't know how you could quantify it, but like, it would be really cool to see what kid or what, like, I wonder if there's a band that is like doing well now in hardcore that saw Terror for the first time and their like trajectory changed and they got into the scene. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like what, like the impact of that.
It all starts somewhere. Yeah. You know, I, for myself here, I remember like my first show at Showcase, I was in middle school and I saw Nuns with Guns and Final Fight. Oh, and that was it. Like, this is the coolest thing in the world. I want to go here all the time. I was in middle school. I wasn't able to go nearly as often as I would have liked, but like that was the catalyst right there of like, didn't have to be life-changing lyrics like, you know, stick to your guns per se, but like just that was it. You know what I mean? Never really looked back on it, you know?
Yeah.
Shout out MySpace and having music so available that's just everything was right there.
Dude.
Shouldn't have been in 7th grade going on MySpace, but
You were in 7th grade?
I was in 7th grade.
Same, dude, same.
If I would have stuck through with it, man, I could have been like a multi-million-dollar coder or something like that, learning HTML through MySpace.
Dude, our old bass player Rick, that was his business for a while, and he was doing really well.
Yeah,
He was doing those MySpace pages, and then I still remember when like
They changed
it,
Yeah.
and his like kind of when he quit the band too.
in 24 hours, just his business was just
Gone.
completely,
Shot.
yeah,
Completely done.
crazy how
Yeah,
times
look at
changed
him
through
now.
the internet.
Look at him now. I know my
Yeah.
good old MySpace. Just thinking about all the shitstorm fights that your top 8 would cause, you know.
All right, I got a question for you then. It's 2024, no bragging rights. Who's on your top 8?
Wow, dude. Joe chose violence today, huh?
No comment.
Top 8?
Wow, we might not have a podcast after this.
I'm guessing bands or just people or
You tell me.
no.
For the band MySpace page, it'd always have to be bands, right? Like you'd always have to put other bands, unless you're that band that put your singer and your guitar players all
Nah.
top 8.
Nah.
Infinite
Maybe we did.
Infinite possibilities on where this goes, you know?
Yeah, fuck.
This could be a good routine question of just, you know,
Dude, this
who you
is-
rocking
on
for?
We definitely
That's
should.
solid. Who's
This
on
is
your MySpace top 8?
top 8? Fuck, dude. I don't even.
You've asked me questions that have set me back, and now I'm returning the favor.
Dude,
I feel like
that's Madre.
Let's go.
I'm gonna go so safe right now.
it's so safe.
Shout
Who's
out-
been on the show?
Yeah.
Shout out
7
Chucky.
minutes.
Dang. Well, maybe I just put all Martin's bands on there.
Just top 8 is all Martin's.
It's all
bands.
Martin's projects, and then Bernstein. We'll put Bernstein on there.
Yeah.
Easy Out. Do we have a page yet for Easy Out?
Mhm.
Sick. Yeah. Fuck. I don't know, man.
It's a tough one.
It is tough because I feel like there's a lot of like, you know, it's like if it was up to me, I feel like it'd look different than if it was up to Martin.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like with Martin, like, you know, he's played in Alpha and Omega.
If I remember right, I feel like the creative void approach was always like, who are we
Taking out,
taking
or
out, or
who
who are
took
we
us
going
out.
out with, or who are we
Yeah.
like doing an upcoming run with, or whatever. And it was kind of that way.
Yeah.
It was always like, oh, cool, like we're gonna go play some shows in the bragging rights. So
Mm-hmm.
it was constantly changing. I don't think it was ever like a set.
No bragging rights profile name being no bragging rights parentheses on tour now
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Oh man,
in the studio
On
like
tour
whatever.
always. Yeah.
on tour, and it was like because we had a show in San Diego and like Fullerton, and then
Three dates all within a 30-minute
Yeah.
radius on tour.
And you remember there was a way to like
Vegas.
code the HTML where your song would play immediately when people would get to your page, but then you could hide it so people couldn't turn it off.
I did that.
what?
Yeah.
It was Rancid Fall Back Down. I had their music
Sick.
video
Sick.
in my bio, and then I learned how to hide it so that way nobody could stop it. I felt
So
I was unstoppable.
As soon as somebody gets to your page, there's no way to stop that fucking Rancid song. You're like, what? How do I turn this off?
Yep, you're listening to this banger track. I
Yep.
don't care.
Dude.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say on the top 8, bless the day that they added like, oh, top 16, top 24.
No, that made it worse.
Unreal. It was,
At the end, like throwing some filler, but like at least you got like you made the mark.
yeah.
But then I felt like it was like a deeper cut to like someone, you know, a friend that didn't make it. It's like, oh, so you could put all these 60 people up, you can't fucking put me on there? I don't know, be a better friend.
That's how I felt every time I looked at your top 8.
Whatever, dude. My top 8. Fuck. Dude, something embarrassing. Never mind.
It was such a good way to just put on for other bands.
Yeah.
Like there's no Spotify has like that similar artists, but sometimes their similar artists are like really out there to where I don't know. Like I don't know how the algorithm
it's
marks
like algorithm
that.
tailored. It goes based off of what you like, and then like what's in the same genre.
Yeah.
So like I have like on my I was telling Martin this the other day on my Spotify, like I have like I'll have like a punk playlist, and then there's this random ass band that shows up that I've never liked or I've never really listened to, but they just threw like 100 of their songs in the fucking playlist. Like, who is this? Who's this band? I don't even know who they are. And still show up every like 3 songs.
Yeah, Spotify lost. I don't trust it anymore. When they showed me I can't post my end of the year playlist. I'm like, this isn't. This is wildly inaccurate.
It's Volcano Man.
No, it wasn't on there. That's how I knew this thing fucked up.
I knew that something was wrong with it when like recently I listened to just one track and it was like a Eurodance type track, right? And then Shuffle comes on and it's Skinhead. How do you get from point A to point B?
Yeah, thumbs off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Maybe I just listened to the Skinhead record too much.
Yeah. Volcano Man not being in anywhere on my thing. I was like, this is
Rigged.
This is not right. And then last one from David. He said, "How much do you miss Baseline Studios?"
Baseline. It was consistent. I almost died there.
Yeah.
It would be so hot that I normally I would probably stay inside, get ready for the next band and everything. Did you guys ever get to go to Baseline?
I didn't know.
It was a hot box in there. The air conditioning supposedly didn't work. And then the owner of the building was like really shady. I don't know.
I kept hearing that they had bad situations over there.
So I would go outside because it's too hot to just sit in there. And it's just where Baseline was, it's a long strip of road, right? Baseline is on the left side. And then standing out there's a bunch of people standing right outside, and a car that's going straight, hauling ass, all of a sudden brakes hard and is going straight for where I was at into Baseline. Luckily, they stopped right in time. But I couldn't, that would have been it for me. There was a motorcycle that was parked up on the sidewalk, and I couldn't tell, and I didn't think to look what was behind me, but I'm trying to back up, and there's something obviously stopping me. It was a motorcycle.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Baseline. But aside from that, near death story,
The venue was cool.
it was dope. It was nice to have just a consistent spot. It was ran by friends, you know. It was all just, it was there for the right intentions, you know what I mean? As opposed to, in case they ever come across this, as opposed to a venue in Pomona that's been a little money hungry and things for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? I'll let you use your imagination on that one.
Yeah.
It's on the same street as Glass House.
Bad experiences?
At this vet said no. It's just in it for the wrong reason. Seems like money seems to be a big driving thing that just a lot of decisions that have been made that just don't make sense. Makes you scratch your head
Capitalizing on a.
The biggest was they I think they still offer it. They offer a membership.
Yeah, I saw that.
How does that work? And I had a friend that was close that had a contact to them, and even myself, I was trying to ask them, make this make sense of, say you have a membership and it's $15 a month, whatever, to go to every show they have. If you as a promoter book a package and you tell that band, you're going to be getting paid $300 tonight, whatever that is. What if everybody that shows up
Is a member?
Yeah. How are you paying that when it's not that you're trying to make money. It's that you're trying to just make sure the band gets paid. Nobody's losing their ass.
Right.
And now where does that money go? Does that just go directly to the venue? Make that part make sense. And nicely, but kind of passively trying to ask them hey, this doesn't, the math ain't math, and like, let's
Yeah.
figure this out here. They wouldn't give a clear answer.
Interesting.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
you know, what are you going to do? At least we've got a venue.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
And we got a question about who's doing cameras today.
The man himself.
Our boy Andrew Beardley, one of the 2 surviving members of Share the Backline podcast.
The IE's premiere podcast.
Damn right.
They're dildos. I created a derogatory term for people who like Del Taco. I call them dildos.
Dildos. All right.
So proud of him.
I'm so proud of it.
Proud of himself.
I'm just gonna okay, and
Yeah. And what's your point?
doesn't bug me.
Like, I'm not hurt by this.
I'm not gonna go to Del Taco right after we get out of here to spite you and give them my money.
Call it a double dildo, okay?
That's funny.
I'm very proud of that, by the way. You want to do mental health check?
Yeah, let's do it.
Mental health check is where we like to check in weekly, see where we're at mentally. That way, things are going well. What's going on in our lives? That's keeping us in a good place. And if we're not going well, maybe what is going on in our life, or what are we maybe neglecting to do that is keeping us in a funk. So, Michael, would you like to go first?
Sure.
I'm realizing that it's when we ask our guests, I feel like we're putting them on the spot.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is like a warm up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Break you in, you know? Dell style. I don't know what that means.
No, that makes it sound cool. That makes it sound like it's a cool thing.
Yeah, maybe
It's
not.
a great thing. Del style.
Del style.
Yeah. I've been cool, man. It's been busy, but like in a good way. Kind of, but also I've had time to just kind of chill at home. Like last weekend, I didn't really do much. Just kind of hung out and spent time with family, stuff like that. So, it's like we had like this little break for a second, and then now we're right back into film. Like with Easy Out with our skate punk project, our first single is going to drop. Looks like in the next couple weeks, with a full video, which is rad. I'm stoked on it. And then we're getting ready to film a video for the second single, not this weekend, but the following. So all that kind of like falling into place is cool. I got to take measurements of you to make sure you fit into what we're building for you. But yeah, it's been interesting to finally take these songs that we've been like writing and putting together and playing, and actually jam them together, and also jam them in a sense of like, cool, like let's get out of like just sitting in one place and playing, and like actually move around and shit. And then I think we're finding that we've overexerted ourselves in some areas. Like Mike over here is like, fuck, I didn't give myself a break at all in any of these songs.
Yeah, the difference between like writing music and like in the way I feel like when you all get together, you bring ideas, and you perform them, and you play them, and then like, at least like for me with MBR, like I'll jam them, and then I give myself like natural breaks. I feel like, or like there's parts where I'm like, okay, shit, I'm already winded here. I'm probably relaxed here. But when you don't have that like live aspect of it, and you're sending ideas and you're getting these ideas, like I love that. I love being able to hear a song basically finished and then me just write over it, and like I love that. But when I'm just doing that, my writing style is different.
Okay.
And so I've discovered that in this project that we don't really jam in person. There's like a lot of it just getting ideas and hearing them. Lyrically, I don't give myself any breaks. Like I kind of fuck myself in the sense that like I'll do a chorus, and then my chorus will lead right into my verse.
Yeah.
And my verse lead right back into my chorus.
Does it sound good at least?
I like it.
It sounds cool.
I was gonna say, like, even if, does it give you an opportunity to grow as a vocalist, in the sense of like, I didn't know that I could make this flow from point A to point B like that, but now I can, and you've progressed.
Yeah, I think this project has kind of pushed me in some ways.
Yeah.
Like there's some vocal things, I think I kind of do with this. I don't really do much anywhere else. But anyway, so yeah, these songs are exhausting, but in a good way. Like I like it. I like the challenge. Like
You're
it's
pushing
fun.
yourself.
Yeah.
It's also kind of pushed the rest of us vocally also, like me and Rick, I guess, to where like, oh, let's find parts that we can help out.
Yeah.
In like, okay, I'm not doing anything crazy technical here. I'll hit that line for you instead. You know, things like that.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like people are gonna be just flabbergasted that I'm like singing and playing guitar in this project.
It's weird, and I'm in the band with you.
Instead of just screaming.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It was kind of a good learning perspective to look at it, even though it didn't actually directly involve me in any capacity. Do you know Adam Galindo, drums for Stick to Your Guns now from Lake Elsinore?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know him personally, but I know who he is. Yeah.
He was from Twisted Cane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Drummer for Twisted Cane. So him being Adam and an old roommate of mine, they have this band called Abrasion, and
Sick.
great band, dope riffs, insane drum parts.
Yeah.
We're going to the drum parts here. So when I would pop in every once in a while when they'd be writing in the room, and Adam would challenge my roommate and say, I don't know, just write something like make it difficult. And my roommate would make it so insane, like dumb drum parts. This shouldn't be like a reality. And then Adam would find a way to actually make that happen. And it translated so well. And even just talking with him recently, discussed that part with him, and myself telling him, and he agreed that like I think those helped you grow as a drummer exponentially. Of just like, it's something to where it's a challenge. It's a new challenge for you to take that on. Kind of relates to what you were saying on that, and even just taking it away of just sometimes setting the bar higher than what your output isn't always a bad thing. It gives you a chance to like really grow and make it happen.
Sink in.
Yeah. That was a learning lesson from that one.
So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
So it's been cool to like finally like get out of just like sitting behind a computer and writing all these songs, and now we're like jamming as a full band and like
It's exciting.
running through these and like like even just getting ready for videos. Like, how are we gonna move in the videos when we have to like do this shit?
Yeah.
So figuring that out has been interesting as well too. And it was funny kind of the first time, because like all of us, one of the big things about this band is like we're all good friends, which is like we're legitimately homies. And so being able to jam with all your close friends is sick. And then like the vibe is goated. The vibe with everybody is like we can like bust each other's balls, but at the same time like, oh, that was sick, do that. You know? And having like Rick's playing in the band and having him come back and playing a project again, it's cool to see him like shaking the dust off and get back to like moving and shit.
Getting the band back together.
Yeah.
It's cool, and it's been a lot of fun. So like that's lately been like really driving me to be excited about a lot of stuff too. Just like, fuck yeah, we're doing a lot of cool stuff that like, to me, I've for years now just been like, I want to play guitar in a band. I'm step back from being up front and like just want to chill and play guitar. I get to play guitar. It's not that chill because the parts are technical, but it's fun. So I'm pumped on it. And just because of that, like I feel like I've been in a pretty good headspace over the past like few weeks too. Just like seeing everything come together. Like we're tracking the record ourselves. We're mixing it ourselves and doing everything DIY. The videos are all DIY. So it's like it's cool to see all that like work come together and
Proud moment.
like a cool way.
And like I think for mental health stuff, it's like it's awesome to have something that like keeps you motivated and keeps you engaged. That's why I feel like especially for people who are like just like on the younger side of it, and like how there's people who are having a lot of mental health issues and stuff. I think a lot of it is because a lot of kids are like, they don't really have much to like grab onto as far as like, I wish kids would, gravitate more towards music for if someone's not into music, or sport, or something. And it's like, I think having that thing to work on is so good, like for you, for anyone mentally, whatever it is, like, or if you have a passion in media, to dive in and not just, like learn as much as you can about that thing, to have that thing that keeps you going, keeps you excited. I feel for a lot of people, they lose that. Yeah. And they don't have it, or maybe they used to have it and they lost it for whatever reason.
Gets easy to get to wallow in the dark thoughts of it all. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's cool. Cool. You have something
very dope.
Yeah. Where you at, man?
I don't want to say it's some crazy unique, mental framing of it all, right? The way, like right now, I'll explain the back half later. I'm going to say I'm riding a good wave right now. I've had quite a few things go my way in the last 2 weeks. Just some very exciting things that have all happened.
Super cool shit.
Very dope, prior to that, the whole round to round this out here is like you're going to ride a good wave ride that wave as long as you possibly can. Absolutely. That high isn't going to just last and be permanent. That, eventually, all right, things are going to settle down, things are going to get stressful, and then it's back again. And just, I don't know, when times start to get tough like that, it's not some unpenetrable fortress. I'm a regular man, but like, it helps with just keeping that optimism of shit's going to go my way. It might not be right now. I might be, prior to these 2 weeks, it was quite a few L's, like back to back to back to back. And I didn't want to complain about it. I didn't really want to vent about it to anybody or anything like that. And it's not like I'm trying to bottle it up. I just wanted to stay focused on, I can acknowledge right now that like times are tough, but there's good times coming around that corner. I think how you were saying, keeping yourself busy with art projects, exercise, whatever it might be, just keeping yourself focused, whether or not things are going your way, it's gonna, and just kind of helps keep the mind occupied and just keep on going until that good wave comes back again, Ride that for as long as you can, and just don't put yourself in a doom and gloom of, oh, this is only going to last for so long. Just enjoy it for a while. Yeah. It's there, you know what I mean? Life's always going to be full of ups and downs, and like, I don't know, it's not some crazy life learning lesson, not some guru here, but like, it just helps keep my expectations tempered with a not slight, but like reminding myself that things get hard, but better times are going to be coming. Yeah. So it's kind of where I've been at with that, Times have been hard, times have been great. Just right now, times are really good.
Yeah, and I think something cool too, or something that and I hope you are. It's like, I feel like sometimes we almost feel guilty when good things happen, where it's almost like, oh man, like, well, there's so much going on that people shouldn't, or like maybe something in your past where that bums me out when I see good things are happening. And like people aren't allowing themselves to like fully enjoy it, So
imposter syndrome too.
Oh yeah.
Thankfully, I have had so many friends with like since like the get go, when Colin said I'm that this is happening. I'm working for Hardlore now. Yeah. It was like a wave of excitement, and then like shortly after, I'm like, holy shit! Like, can I do this? And, talking with some of my close friends, my wife, my family, they're like, this is perfect for you. Like, you are the person for this. And I'm like, you're right. If it wasn't for them, I I'd be working through it, but I'd probably be dealing with a little bit more of a imposter syndrome of like, whoa, but like just remembering thanks to them of, you're right. This is, I'm right where I'm supposed to be,
Absolutely.
Dude. Yeah.
So,
And honestly, like when I saw the announcement, right, that you were doing it, I
Yeah.
was like, that makes so much fucking sense.
Yeah.
Right. Like you've been in this. You're in this.
Right.
It's the blending of those two worlds. You know.
You're a good asset.
Yeah.
thank you.
Like, yeah.
I told Colin of like, I want to be the Jamie of Hardlore, even to add to what you said there, when I sent over a text to Colin while he was at LDB, because I was on my way to Pomona for a gig, listened to the podcast and had heard that he mentioned, it's time, we have a Patreon, we want to hire an editor.
Right.
And I loosely talked to him about it, just kind of very big emphasis on loosely, threw it out to him at 1720 when I had done some video wall content for them. And I mentioned, hey, like if you need an editor, I would love to help.
Yeah.
Time wasn't there yet. And so hearing this, texted him, and his response, I don't remember word for word, but it was along the lines of, oh my God, Steven, yes. And it was just like, I couldn't believe it. I was just like, does this mean exactly what it means? Like, you know what I mean? It was dope.
It's rad to see that come together, because it's like, the thing that you've been doing for you, right? Like the thing that you've been doing because you're passionate about it has translated into you working on bigger projects that'll just sustain what you're doing that you love already.
Exactly.
Right. So, and it's just such a cool like circle.
Yep. They're both non-biasly, they're both very cool. The whole project itself, it's exciting to work with something that like I was already listening, whether I got the editing role or not.
You're
gonna listen no matter what.
Yeah.
So it's like, it was just exciting of like, I listen to this all the time, like, and now getting to do this, like it even makes editing fun, because now if anything I get a sneak peek at the episodes as I'm going through it. My wife laughed at me.
Awesome.
My wife laughed at me as I was editing the LDB episode last week. Bo was talking about Weapon X, and he's like, yeah, we didn't play last year. And there's like an awkward silence, and one of the guests says, didn't you play the pre-show? Did you not play the pre-show last year? And the reaction to it, like kind of like gut laughter, just like, oh my God, he did. Like, I don't know. It's just nice to like, it's realizing like in real time, I'm laughing at this. I'm having fun. This is dope. This doesn't, it's work, but like, it doesn't feel like work, makes the hours worth it.
That's what we're hoping Jesse feels when he watches this episode. Like, man, I missed that. That was awesome.
Yo, the top 8 comment, maybe we'll get them. So, what about you? Oh, did you already answer where you've been? You put me on the spot.
And also, I don't even know that I've ever said this aloud. Dude, Hardlore, that's like my favorite show, I think, right now. Like on YouTube, that's my workout.
Yeah.
Shit. Like, that's like when Mike, I didn't see the announcement. He just texted me. I was like, what the fuck? That's sick.
Yeah.
I was like,
That's that has been, the video form of it has been a staple for cardio.
Yeah.
I started watching directly on YouTube when they did, I can't remember their name, when they did the episode with the guitarist from Ceremony.
oh yeah.
And I had already listened to it almost halfway through on the podcast, and then I saw like, oh, there's full video behind this, and kind of just became the normal after that.
I think mine, or at least the one that really got me hooked, was when they talked to a singer from Mind Force.
Yeah.
I was like,
J Rocks.
yeah, I think that was kind of what got me in, and just anyway, that's such a good podcast, and it's such a fun. It's awesome because they're guys that are such in the scene.
Yeah.
That like it's so like, oh, they're asking questions like I'd want to hear.
Yeah. Fast food questions.
Yeah. Dude.
Like, that's been one of my favorite questions since they started asking that of like you're driving, you're on tour and you're driving and like you see the list of food spots, like what's the one spot that says like stop the fucking van, like we're going here, like just little things like that.
Yeah.
Taco Bell.
It depends. It depends what
Only
state.
because you're out of California.
It depends what state. It depends what state you're in.
So it's very exciting, very grateful. I feel like a broken record when all I can just say is like thank you, thank you, thank you. Like I'm beyond grateful for it all. You know what I mean? Of like,
dude, like I said, they're getting a good asset, man. Like that.
Yeah.
That's.
Thank you, man.
That's gonna be good. That's gonna be. Does this mean they're gonna be more content? Is that what this means?
Try.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Time will tell.
Where are you at, Mike?
I'm good. I feel like I'm in a good place. I've been trying to I've been consistent with the gym, which is good. Wedding stuff is like pretty. It's right now. It's just like really small things that are still need to be handled, but for the most part, like it's there. Like if it were to happen tomorrow, it'd probably be clunky, but we at least would have a direction of how it would go.
I don't have my suit yet. We can't do it tomorrow.
Maybe I was gonna say Wednesday, but maybe Thursday.
Yeah.
Next week.
Yeah. Mike's gonna show up in a blue suit or something. Just
Me and Rick are gonna go get our Dumb and Dumber suits. This weekend.
fucking show up with top hats and stuff.
Could throw you through the ringer a little bit. So when my wife and I got married, we're 2-3 weeks out from the wedding. We've had this venue booked for months now. Maybe even longer. Hey, we just realized we double booked, and the person that booked before you gave us a check before. Sorry, we have to honor theirs. I call BS on it, but we had to find a whole new venue in that small amount of time, and it still came together.
That's a real thing that can happen, Mike.
No, dude, no way.
No, we're not putting that juju. You can knock on this wood right now.
No way.
I will not.
I didn't have food for like the first 20 minutes.
Really?
The vendor never showed up.
They just didn't show up?
What the fuck?
But you made it. But you made it through.
And what'd you guys do?
You
for
made
food?
it through.
Taco guy.
Hell yeah.
All reliable.
Well, see, ours is a taco guy, so
So
we're
if he
good.
doesn't show up.
No, he'll show up, dude.
There's always another taco guy.
To be fair, you're in downtown Riverside. If all else fails, there's a 24-hour ramen spot right around the corner.
That's good to know,
You know who else you can contact? Del Taco.
dude.
All you can eat crinkle cut fries sold. Where's my invite to that wedding? I need it now.
I feel like I would probably. What? There's a Jack in the Box in downtown. I feel like I probably hit up a Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box tacos for everybody.
Dude.
4 taco limit to each person.
Dude. And hopefully it's on a day the Lakers. What is it? The Lakers. If the Lakers keep a team under 110, then like
Free tacos.
free tacos. I think is what it
Oh
is.
my gosh.
So,
When I was a really young kid, I got bullied for my weight when I was in middle school. Who didn't get bullied for something at that point, right? So I was a little self-conscious about it. My parents, my dad was heavily into drag racing, and we were in Vegas for a race. They had to work on the car, and they kind of had like a whole team set up and everything, right? Everybody's in the parking lot, friends, family, we're all out there. My mom hands me a $50 bill. This is when tacos were still 99 cents for 2 of them. Go get as many tacos as you can with this. And I've never been so embarrassed going up to Del Taco, feeling self-conscious about my way of like, can I get this many tacos? Oh my God.
Not for me, I swear.
Yeah, I swear I don't need, they're not mine. But
they're like, okay,
Jack in the Box tacos,
dude, that's fun.
they're good.
They're fucked. It's fucked up how good they are.
I don't want to know what's in them.
Me neither.
Don't tell me.
Yeah, I've heard the rumors, but
Yeah. We ignore
we
them.
let me rumors.
Earmuffs.
But yeah, it's coming together. And then like Mike was saying, music is like stuff with this new project is starting to come together, which has been exciting. We have NBR, like I said, is writing right now, so that's exciting. And then we have a show. Was it next week for Noah? 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
The 14th.
So then
We have a
Burn
video shoot the 13th, and then both of our bands
play the 14th.
playing the 14th
So
at Stages in Santa Ana.
Busy man.
yeah.
Stages, is that what used to be Malone's?
Yep.
Yeah. I hate the name change.
It's more appropriate.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. I feel like that venue's cursed with like a promoter that used to book out of there. It was called Pirate Entertainment, I think. And he would have local bands loaded to this thing. Each band was selling like 30, 40 pre-sale tickets. And it was this type scenario. If you don't sell them all, you can't play.
Wild. Yeah.
Dark times.
Yeah.
Times.
Yeah. The pay-to-play days.
I think actually, you know, I'm going to conclude my where we're at in the state of hardcore type thing. Thank God pay to play is like, I feel like extinct.
Yeah,
At least out here,
Yeah.
even amongst metalcore, it seems like it's kind of dying off. Maybe it's just fortunate California being a bigger market, but I hope that's just a staple across the whole grand spectrum.
Yeah. I feel like it could have been such a way to like the structure should have been easier in the sense of like if you're gonna do it, like just say, hey, we're gonna give you, you know, we're gonna give you 50 tickets, and then you can sell them for, you know, whatever, like $10, and you keep $3 per ticket.
Yeah.
And then obviously like whatever you don't sell, then just give back.
Yep.
Like easy.
Yep.
And if you don't sell any, then you just give it back.
Yep.
Easy. I don't know why that was never like. I felt like towards the end of Showcase, that was kind of how it was for. I felt like it was for us. Like we weren't even obligated to like sell tickets, but like we kind of had like a pyramid scheme for how we did our tickets. But it was never like. I remember there was times when we were like short, and they were always like cool about it. Joe was like, whatever you have, just cares.
Yeah. Some of them were cool. Some others were. I'm going to be blunt about it. Some of them were dickheads.
Yeah.
You know,
Obi
and
Michaels.
those people aren't around booking shows anymore. Surprise,
Right.
surprise. You know.
Yeah.
It's crazy how that works.
Yeah. I'll always Hoagie Bar Michaels for me was always the worst with that.
Yeah. That place was a mess.
I don't think I ever went.
The Hoagies, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
I was always really nervous, and my mom's clarified for me now as an adult. I was always so nervous to ask my mom even to go to Showcase, because my young teenage mind thought, this is so far away from home. And now I look at it, I'm like, this is so close. And even my mom said, I would have driven you to Chain Reaction. What are you talking about? I'm like, I guess I just didn't have the balls to ask you.
Kid brain.
Yeah.
It's like we're crossing the fucking desert.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This doesn't really fall. I'm a little bit with that, but I remember for us, Chain Reaction shows were far away, and so were Coos Cafe shows because that's like Santa Ana, I think. And I remember my buddy and I, Ryan Severs, we had gone to a show at Coos Cafe, and I think I told like my brother, like, hey, can you like pick us up at like, I think the show ends at like at 11 or something. We'll be done by 11.
Yeah.
And the Coos show, it ended at like 10 o'clock or like 9:45. It was like an early show.
Yeah.
And so I was like, shit, we have like another, we'll be out for a minute. And the Coos staff is like, hey, you guys aren't 18, are you? We're like, no. Like, there's a curfew and cops pick you up. So like, I would hide. And we're like, what? So we had to like hide. Like, for an hour, and it's like, and having to call my brother from a payphone and be like, "Hey, we're hiding, we're hiding over here. Like, come get us."
Those are the situations in life that builds character.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I think it was in 8th grade. My best friend and I, we walked down to the Wiener Schnitzel. Horrible food, but we walked to the Wiener
Chili
Schnitzel
cheese
right.
fry burrito, fire.
I don't even want to know. The one right next to Showcase, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're sitting there at a table eating our food, and some dude all of a sudden hauls ass running through the parking lot, throws down what I know now is a pipe. He's running from cops. There's a police helicopter overboard and everything like that. And I was like, man, this is crazy. Not realizing, like, why am I over here right now? You know what I mean? To be however old I was in 8th grade.
Yeah.
To be kids.
Yeah, to be kids.
To like see people doing coke and being like, oh,
Cool.
probably shouldn't have seen that.
All right, let's add a jam to the playlist and then let's get out of here.
While you're adding the jam to the playlist, on the subject of that, right? Shouldn't have seen that. Going back to energy, there's this energy company that I couldn't believe. Like, do you ever get crazy sponsored ads on Instagram?
Yes.
Like, I've seen one of like fake clone cards and things like that. I'm like, how did you get through the threshold? I got one, and it's a legitimate energy company. It's an energy supplement. It's legal. It's not cocaine. I think it's called like Wanna Bump.
Okay.
Look this up on your phone real quick.
And then you'll see ads forever.
You're going to be cursed.
All right, whatever.
No joke. It's an energy supplement powder that comes in a little small capsule just like that. And it's to snort.
What a bump energy review.
Wild.
Like at first I'm like, what did I just see an ad for? And then I looked, I'm like, this is an actual energy supplement. Like, this world is
like,
cursed.
Oh my, even that, even the advertising has like the powder like on a mirror and shit.
Yeah.
It's because of the way you talk to your dog. Your phone hears it all the time. They're like, oh, this guy parties.
This guy's a prime candidate.
Wrong candidate here, brother.
Oh, man.
Dude,
So,
it's literally a powder. That's amazing.
all right. Well, so we have this Walking Blind playlist where we add a song that we've been jamming throughout the week.
Okay.
So any genre, any type of music, like what's a song that you just want to throw on there?
Oh, can I pull up my own Spotify real quick and just take a gander and say like, oh, it's got to be this one?
For me, since we brought it up, I'm gonna throw the intro from Born to Be Betrayed from Abrasion because it just starts off heavy.
You go next, Mike. I need some time on this one.
Dang, I was gonna
Much to consider.
But we already have it on there.
We have John Farnham on there.
We have him on.
I just had a song come on shuffle while I was driving here.
Yeah.
And it kind of sent me back a little bit.
Yeah.
Foxtrot Uniform Charlie Kilo by Bloodhound Gang. And I'm just like, yeah, that was a good track.
Dude.
You look at the lyrics, it's like, oh my God, but like, banger track.
Do you want to add that one to the playlist?
Why not?
Fuck it.
Dude.
All right. Dude, there was also that album artwork is amazing.
That whole band is just one giant question mark of like, it could have only worked at that time.
At that time. Oh, dude, I remember they had a song while you look yours up called I Hope You Die. And I thought the riff was just like, it's just this metal, like,
Yeah.
and I was like, fuck yeah, this song rips. And the whole song is just him singing about like, I hope you flip some guy. It's like this whole chain of events, like you flip somebody off because you're an asshole. So I hope all this happens to you because of it. It's a chain reaction.
Just a full detailed thing. The whole like, while we're waiting on him here, the whole thing, whatever you want to call it, around like so many things that we grew up on would have only worked on that.
There's no way they'd be okay.
You cannot get Euro Trip in 2024. You cannot get the OG American Pies. Like that just doesn't fly anymore. Great movies.
Blink 182 was in American Pie.
Blink 182
one
was
of
in
my
it.
exes was in one of the American Pie spin-offs.
It's direct to DVD curse.
Yeah.
Those ones we pretend we don't see those. I was just gonna say, Euro Trip still forever goated. Scotty doesn't know.
Dude.
Unreal.
Oh,
Best cameo ever.
I still kind of quote. Nobody really ever gets it, but like wrong place, wrong time. I'll just drop it. Oh, this isn't where I parked my car. You know.
So, have you guys listened to Chris that makes a podcast?
I don't think I have.
Chris, yeah, it's the guitar, one of the guitar players from Less Than Jake,
Okay.
and I like it because he does like a really good deep dive on like a song from a band. He has them on, and they talk about it, and he breaks down the lyrics, and it's funny hearing. Because I was like, as soon as I watched the first episode, I was like, fuck, dude, it would be so awkward for someone to be reading my lyrics to me.
Yeah.
Like this. And they're like,
what did you mean by that?
Yeah. So he goes like a verse. Anyway. But because of that, so now it got me thinking, I'm going to throw on I'm the One from The Descendants. It's one of my all-time favorite songs, I think.
All right.
Goated track.
Dude, that's a goated track.
Goated episode, guys.
Goated episode.
Yeah, I love it.
Sick.
Descendants is one of those punk bands, like, even with their newer material, still don't mind it. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Some of the, like, obviously older material goes much harder, but I'm still listening.
Yeah.
You know? Like, before we shut this down here, I'm gonna die on this hill. Might not be like the most popular opinion, but my favorite Pennywise record was the one where they had the dude from Ignite.
Dude.
God, that record rocks. Dude.
Fuck
He's a huge Zoli fan that you're talking to right now.
It's such a good record. And like, when I tell people, like, you just got to listen to it. I know it's not the OG singer, but like, it's so good.
It's so fucking good, dude. That's what
I'm listening to on the drive.
I love Pennywise.
Yeah.
I love Pennywise.
Yeah.
Love Jim. Great.
But Zoli?
But Zoli with Pennywise?
Rip.
And especially because, this hurts to say, Ignite, like the newest album they had put out with Zoli had some bangers, and then it had some songs that were like, it's like alternative rock.
Yeah.
Not the Ignite I fell in love with. But to hear Zoli over fast punk shit again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Dude.
a funny Pennywise story for you from when I was in Darusum doing our touring stuff, right? I'm at a wedding, and the groom's sister was at our same table, and her husband, right? Talking with about music, come to find out, oh yeah, he plays, and, the guy's being very, in hindsight, he was being very humble, to put it lightly. Yeah, I play drums, I play music. I've been playing since I was a kid. Start telling him, thinking like I'm hot shit because I'm doing Darusum and we're touring and everything, right? He's like, yeah, I play in a band. We do some tours and everything like that. No big deal. And then I asked him like, oh, like, what's your band? I'm the drummer for Pennywise. You've been listening to me talk about DIY shit tours.
How dare you? How dare you?
Oh, you're doing the real deal here, huh?
Yeah.
Dude.
I asked for his autograph at the end of it, so really,
Good.
Dude.
Hell yeah.
18-year-old me got shown up and shown why. Keep a humble attitude about shit.
That's why I don't even tell people I'm in a band anymore unless they know.
And even if they know, who cares?
Yeah.
It's like I feel like we've both been kind of the worst with that. I used to get, it was so weird when people like knew that I was in a, like when they'd know my band.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh dude, like, fan of your band. Like where do you?
I get so awkward.
I'm like, where do you like know us from? I don't know. Like I have nothing to say. I don't know how to like now I can just say thank you.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. Thank you. Like, awesome.
I mean, obviously it's different. I've done a podcast before to where like video podcast and everything, my face was on it, but like you don't see me putting my face really behind 197. Like being up on stage feels awkward at times because like, I don't know, like it's just weird. Just anything about it is just like, it's weird. And then I just realized I'm just so in my head right now. Just stop.
Yeah. Just people aren't really thinking about it.
Yeah. It's just weird. Like, I don't know. I don't want that perception thing of like, I don't think that I'm not anywhere near as important as what is actually here in front of it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So.
But what you're doing is very awesome to what the, to the experience.
Thank you,
You're
man.
bringing something really cool. So
Glad that it's able to be enjoyed,
Do you ever have any people that are like, yo, catch this, and they like do something stupid?
Unfortunately, yes. And most times I will tell them no. Because
I still thought you should have put me doing the chicken fight, but whatever.
You know, I don't know what they're about to do, and like I don't want people to get the idea of like, hey, I'm gonna do something stupid, put me on the internet. Right. It's not the point of this video. If I catch it, dope. That's great. But
it's got to be natural.
Yeah, I'm not trying to deliberately get a moment where you're going main character syndrome.
Right.
Like sometimes in my videos when there is a really bad main character syndrome moment, like the kid at No Pressure at 1720 sitting in the middle of the stage while the band is playing. And it's just like, I actually zoomed in like, why? Like,
this is disrespectful.
Yeah, just like at this point, like, why? Like, don't do this.
Yeah.
Don't be this guy. Aside from that, no. You know, no dig at anybody. I'm not going to name names in particular out of it, but like, you know, it's easier that way.
Well,
it's me and then socking you.
That would be what I can't.
Yo, if you're gonna do that, let me know. Like, I'll bleep it out, but we'll get it at least.
I'll hit you back. Well, shit. Let's plug socials. Where can they find all these videos?
YouTube.com/197media, Twitter or X and Instagram, all spelled out 197 like ONE, and then MDA because I thought I was clever abbreviating media.
Yeah.
That's both for X and Instagram, and then I'm on cursed TikTok. I can't understand that algorithm to save my life, but 197 media, just the number, the normal way to spell it out, you know. That's Pandora's box right there. I can't crack that code.
I haven't figured it out either, but I will one day.
The smoked video that went super crazy on there was doing great, and then they slapped it with a "this is dangerous" warning, and I think like they kind of curbed the engagement at that point. I'm like, well,
all right,
there goes that. So,
well, for us at Walking Blind Pod everywhere, walkingblindpod at gmail.com for the email address. Yeah.
Follow, like, subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, thank you for fucking hanging out, man.
Yeah,
this is rad.
Thank you guys for inviting me, man. This was dope.
Well, we love you guys. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.